right-wingism is like spreading around the world. I mean, it's just, it's quite remarkable. Part of this is the reaction within these countries. In this case, I'm talking about Western Europe and even Scandinavia, where, you know, we saw Sweden just elect a very, very conservative prime minister. We saw Italy just elect basically a neo-fascist as prime minister. In Germany, there's this party, AfD, Alt für Deutschland, or Alternative for Germany, which has, it's basically a neo-Nazi party. And in large part, this hard swing to the right in Europe has taken place. It's basically a racist response to the Syrian crisis that was provoked when, there's a little bit of a backstory here, global climate change wiped out, moved the desert south by about 100 miles across northern Africa, which is where Syria is. And so, you know, thousands and thousands of farmers, their farms just turned to sand. So they showed up in Damascus and Aleppo and other Syrian towns, you know, basically as homeless people on the streets, these farmers. They're formerly middle-class farmers. And they started demanding, you know, some help, some housing and some food at the very least. The response of the Bashir al-Assad government was to shoot them. And then, you know, there was this uprising, and so then Russia came in, because Russia's got a deep water port there, and Russia came in and just bombed the crap out of them, leveled Aleppo, and, you know, in support of Assad. So the result of that was literally millions of refugees, Syrian refugees, fleeing Syria, going into southern Europe, and then traveling all across Europe. Germany took in over 1 million of these Syrian refugees. Sweden took in, I believe, several 100,000 of them. And now you've got these white power parties in Europe saying, we don't want these brown-skinned immigrants here. And in Germany, police overnight for us, arrested at least 25 people tied in over 130 raids across the country, tied to this right-wing nut group. Well, I can't call them a nut group, but, you know, serious, deadly right-wing group that is influenced by QAnon conspiracy theories, according to CBS News. And they arrested a former parliamentarian for the AfD party, the one I was telling you about, former members of Germany's military special forces. The federal prosecutor's office, in addition to the 25 people that they arrested, they've accused another 50 men and women of forming a terrorist organization with the intent of eliminating the constitutional order of the Federal Republic of Germany. They want to take the state back to what it was in 1871, the German Reich. I believe that would be the Second Reich. You know, they were planning to storm the Reichstag, just like the Republicans did on January 6th here in the United States. There were going to be attacks all across the country. They wanted to start a German civil war. They were going to attack the power grid. Does this sound familiar? We just, you know, in the Carolinas, we just had the third now, the second attack, and a third one that was planned and foiled by the FBI on our power infrastructure by these white supremacists who think that this is the way to start a civil war. Well, apparently they were thinking the same thing in Germany. It's amazing.